Welcome, friends. Uh, I'm going to talk about, my destiny and awakening, because it was wondrous. But, I've made a playlist about that, so most of it's on there. But, I had a destiny to eventually end up lodging in Peter's home and be awoken to spirit by him and put with the light by Father God. Now the light's a portal. All spirit have it. They can travel through it from plane to plane. They can do different things with their light. They can communicate in prayer to God through it. But when you're down here, you can communicate through your light to spirit guides. Now, God put me with the light. Most of us are not with the light until we are first passing over, when we cross over into the next life. And, this awakening, it's really about proving the existence of the afterlife more than anything. For some, also the existence of God, proving it. So that's the way it is, isn't it? Because it's wished. And the awakening was really about encouraging people to develop and listen to spirit guides, the wisdom of spirit guides, some personally themselves or through mediums and channelers and different people that do this. So, that's what it was really about, the awakening. So I'll talk about the awakening rather than other things at the moment. So what caused the awakening to be triggered by Father God, his decision to awaken this world, was the First and Second World Wars. Now, I'll go into that in a minute. In 1945, about a month before the end of the Second World War, when Japan surrendered, about a month before then, in June the 13th, 1945, God's other son, brother of Christ, Citadel, was born on this planet, and he was named Peter by his parents. So he was born, and that was the beginning. But there was three others that come in support of him, and they're all English, and they're all people of notoriety, two singers and somebody else. And, I can't really remember other than one of them. But they come between 1945 and 1949, around about the same time, to do support work of some sort. And, they were just doing their own thing. They weren't working directly for Father God. Now Father God just gives you opportunities. It's you that has to be good enough for the job in the first place. So he gives you opportunities sometimes, and it's up to you whether you choose them or don't choose them. So I chose to do what I do, as they chose to live their lives and do what they do. And Peter made choices to be of service here. And his job was to start the awakening, which he did on the 13th of June 1995 in my presence. He started the awakening and said a sequence of prayers to Father God, asking for it, for this world. And his other job was to awaken me. And, he said I was getting a crash course because he knew there was a conspiracy going on by Rick. Anyway, I don't want to make these videos too long. So that's the gist of it. The awakening is about saving the world. It's about teaching us to get rid of all these things that are polluting the oceans, plastic, fossil fuels, to get rid of nuclear fuel because they're just dumping the waste in the oceans and it will leak out and it's radioactive, some of it for 500,000 years, other parts of it for 1 million years. So, we're going to kill ourselves. We're going to pollute ourselves to death. And, governments, they make a lot of money out of fossil fuels. There's a tax on every barrel of oil. There's a tax in every way they sell it to us through the pumps or any other way we use it. There's a tax on it. They are making a heck of a lot of money. Plastic is made of oils and fossil fuels, so they're making a heck of a lot of money. They don't want to give up that profit. So they're greedy, aren't they? And it's up to the people of the world to stand up and protest against this. We must go green. If we're going to save this world, we must stop using chemicals on the land that are killing bees and different things. We're eating them as well and causing more cancers and stuff. All these bad chemicals they're putting in our food stuff, spraying on the crops. This world has got to go green in every way, because we've got to learn to live in balance and harmony with the world, because we're completely out of balance, mankind. And people are using this world like a disposable throwaway world at the moment. They truly are. And we've got to change. We have got to change. And the only way you can do it, because governments will never change, they'll be slow to act on anything because they're making a big profit out of dirty things. So the only people that can stop this, can change this, is people power. So the way to save this world is people power. It's about enlisting the help of every person in every country to start standing up and protesting that we should go green, that we should stop using fossil fuels, that we should get rid of nuclear power, that we should be kind to the environment and the foodstuffs we're eating, because we need to be eating organic food that's not sprayed to death with chemicals. We need to be eating meats, and I'm vegetarian, but meats, they have growth hormone promoters put into them. They have lots of antibiotics to keep them alive put into them every day in their feeds, because they're intensively farming. We need to go back to free-range organic farming as much as possible. And that may not be completely possible everywhere, because these fertilizers they use, they're damaging the watercourse. The chemicals get and leach into the watercourse. We are set for destroying ourselves, and scientists are already predicting mass extinction is going to happen. Great floods, global warming, great droughts, all kinds of terrible things are starting to happen already, and we can see that plainly. And year by year, it's going to keep getting worse. And I said this awakening was started because of the First and Second World Wars. And when there's not enough food on this world, Third World War could happen, because they'd be fighting over food. And in the end, that could be somebody pushing the button, a nuclear launch, because they're being conquered and they've got nuclear weapons. And, once one launches them, everybody does. And that spells the end of this world permanently. And, unless we act now, and these governments, the G7, and what they're doing is good, they're doing something, but nowhere near fast enough. They need to act now, immediately, to put an end to this. They need to stop all these plastics, one single-use plastics from being used. They need to turn to promoting green energy, solar power, wind power turbines, and hydropower in rivers or ocean power driven power generators. So we've got to change. We've got to change. Now, I'm not the most intelligent man. I come out of school with no qualifications, but I worked on a farm, and I can become a shepherd, and I excelled at that, and I've always been very conscientious, a workaholic to get things done. I'm a good person. My heart is in helping this world and trying to save it, so I'll do my best. Anyway, thank you for watching. Love and light to you, Neil.